guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I'm here live to do my live review of the March 11th, 2020 edition of NXT. Of course, due to the coronavirus and everything going around right now, this episode of NXT took place at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. This is going to be kind of quick. Again, I'm sorry I'm doing this kind of quick, but I'm just trying to get this in. I'm on very limited time, so this is going to be a very brief review to talk about this week's episode of NXT, which I thought was a pretty darn good show. I felt if we're comparing, between AEW and NXT for the Wednesday Night Wars, I personally felt NXT had the better show. We had a lot of great matches. We had an excellent brawl to end the show that I thought was great as well. Some good, pieces falling together as we were getting ready for NXT TakeOver Tampa. Later on in about a month or so, if it still happens, of course, because everything being canceled with the coronavirus, which once again I offer my thoughts and prayers to everyone who is dealing with this situation right now for sure. So let's get right into the review. What's up, Tyler? Thank you for joining me live. Again, this is going to be very brief and very quick, so we're going to go right into it and talk quickly. We opened up with a match for the North American Championship. Keith Lee versus Cameron Grimes. That was a pretty good match. Cameron Grimes, of course, is still kind of like one of the newer guys, but I think he's one person that really stood out from the breakout NXT Breakout Star Tournament. I think he was the runner-up to Jordan Miles. I thought he's done pretty good so far. I still think he's definitely has room for improvement to grow, but I think he's definitely stood out and is good at getting the job done. He is. Of course, his hat got knocked off during the match, but Keith Lee right now is oozing out some pretty good charisma. He's on really the run of his career right now, I think. I thought Grimes put on a good match, and eventually Keith Lee would get the victory, pinning him with a Big Bang Catastrophe, the jackhammer, of course, on Grimes to get the victory. But afterwards, Damian Priest attacks Lee from behind with his like a black Billy Club or something like that, like a nightstick, and attacks Lee with it. Dominik Dijakovic slides to run him off because he's recently had some issues with Damian Priest. But then, of course, Dijakovic runs off Priest. He tries to go help Lee, but then Keith Lee, who must have thought that Dijakovic was the one who attacked him from behind or something, picks him up and hits him with the Spirit Bomb, of course. So either that's Keith Lee knowing, hey, I'm not playing around anymore. I have obviously just have a lot of respect for each other after, the performances they put on against each other. But obviously he knows anyone's coming for that title. And being sneak attacked like Damian Priest did, he must have, alerted him, or, think there was a possibility that maybe Dijakovic was the one who attacked him and not Damian Priest. Who knows? But, I'm not sure where we're going for this, but I'm guessing we're probably going to be seeing Keith Lee and Damian Priest for the North American Championship at TakeOver Tampa in a few weeks. Of course, they then have Beth Phoenix was welcomed back as she was not there at last week's episode of NXT because of her attack from Randy Orton. They put over the title match at WrestleMania, and of course, because that's happening, of course, we're going to be having a ladder match for the number one contendership for the Women's Championship for after WrestleMania. So, the ladder match, of course, I didn't know until this show was going to feature 6 people. And so I'm like, okay, that's good. Because I thought, we're doing this Chelsea Green, one other person. I'm thinking, but I'm like, 6 people. I'm like, cool. Make sure of, seasoned and not seasoned talent. That way, they can get in there and, get more of a rub. So, the next match we had was Mia Yim and Dakota Kai, who, of course, have some history because Dakota Kai was the one who attacked Mia Yim to prevent her from being in the TakeOver War Games match, for the Women's War Games match at TakeOver War Games. That was a solid match. Raquel Gonzalez, of course, was in the corner for Dakota Kai. Unfortunately, their plans backfired because Mia Yim would defeat Dakota Kai with the backstabber to claim the second spot in the number one contenders match. Afterwards, though, Raquel Gonzalez returned back after she was taken out before Meah got the victory, but Gonzalez comes in to destroy the winner and helps Dakota get back. Yim gets back to her feet and walks to the back as the crowd, of course, chanted her name, giving a nice little pop. We then see Tommaso Ciampa arrive as he's trying to be interviewed, saying how Johnny Gargano wants to do things his way. Ciampa's like, whoa, his way? And he just storms in. So we're waiting to see, what happens then. We also get another teaser for still people saying it's Killer Cross. We also had a match with Kushida and Raul Mendoza. It was a decent match. It wasn't anything too spectacular, but it's a good way to get Kushida back on the card. I don't think we've seen him since him and Alex Shelley lost in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is a shame because I actually really thought that was a pretty good looking team for sure. I loved the match they had at NXT Live here in Pittsburgh about a month ago or so. Oh, 2 months ago. 2 months ago, yeah, when they took on the Forgotten Sons. So I really had some high hopes for them, so I'm not sure if we're going to move forward with them or not. That wasn't the last I saw of Raul Mendoza, though, tonight. We have a pre-taped interview with Tyler Breeze about what the Performance Center means to him, which are interrupted by Austin Theory, who shades Prince Pretty about not being cut out to be a megastar. But then Breeze takes his pick, and when Theory's like, "Why are you taking my picture?" and Breeze says, "Oh, he looks like a flash in the pan," basically. So I guess they're set up for a match with Austin Theory and Tyler Breeze, which should be pretty good. Rhea Ripley comes out. She says if Charlotte Flair is going to play mind games, she'll have to step up. She admits that this is the biggest match of her career. But what gets her through is knocking the Queen on her royal ass. But then Charlotte comes out and she shuts up the "you don't go here" chants that, of course, Bianca Belair got trending. She says Rhea's issue won't be the 80,000 chanting her name at WrestleMania. It'll be that she's too much for her to handle. At Mania, she's going to take Rhea to deep water and drown the next big thing. Rhea doesn't want to hear anything else and attacks Charlotte. Charlotte starts getting to the ring. They start to brawl, but Charlotte begins to get the better after bouncing Rhea's knee off the ring post, and she locks Rhea in a draping figure 4 leg lock around the post, which looks pretty painful. Then Charlotte posed with the belt as Rhea was in pain. Okay, that was good. We get also a video package from Walter, and then that ends with Finn Balor holding up a passport saying of the hype for NXT UK champ that lies travel faster than the truth. So Finn Balor is heading to NXT UK for the time being. I still think it's probably to set up a match with him and Walter for UK Takeover Dublin next month, I think, which I think should be the case for sure. But this was odd. Mia Yim is leaving the Performance Center, and as she's being interviewed, though, a van speeds up with 2 guys in luchador masks, and they abduct Raul Mendoza. Okay. Don't know where it's leading, but, that was strange. Hopefully Raw's okay, but we'll have to see. My girl Dianna Purrazzo was next. She took on Tegan Knox in another qualifying match. Tegan made kind of easy work for her, though. So Tegan Knox is the 3rd member now of this ladder match. So far, it's Tegan Knox, Mia Yim, and Chelsea Green. We have 3 of the 6 members so far. Good field for me so far, I gotta say. Also, this is a nice little segment. After we get another Killer Cross teaser, possible Killer Cross teaser. We're getting ready for the tag title match, our main event match, before we actually got to our actual last thing, which was the segment with Gargano and Ciampa. So the challengers, the Undisputed Era, enter. Roderick Strong and Adam Cole come with them as well. But before they can actually enter and say anything, Velveteen Dream's music plays. He's on the balcony. Says there are 4 little men in the PC ring, but only has his eye on one, and that's Cole and the belt, because he was never interested in Roddy's family. They're just tights. And he holds up and throws the tights with Marina and Troy over his shoulder. It was also Dream's plan. Strong was just dumb enough to fall for it, so he wants to talk about the main event of TakeOver Tampa, which should be Dream versus Cole. It's probably going to be Gargano and Ciampa, but, we'll see. Cole tells Velveteen Dream to dream on, but next week Cole is going to have a celebration as he'll be the longest reigning NXT champion next week. He says him and Roddy will head after Velveteen Dream and end this right now, but Dream says not so fast, and he signals for the tag champs music. So we had Undisputed Era take on the Broserweights. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish take on Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne for the tag titles. Another pretty good match. Of course, their match at TakeOver Portland I thought was the better one, but this is still a really good rematch between these 2 teams. Of course, my favorite part of the match is when the referee was not looking and Pete Dunne fell back and pretended that he got attacked by Cole and Roderick Strong. Kind of like, getting the revenge, because that's something that Cole and Roddy would do in their matches as well. So kind of like turn the tables on them and getting Cole and Strong ejected from the match, making it a fair 2-on-2 tag match. But that's my favorite part of the match. Also during the match, the grizzled young veterans Zach Gibson and James Drake came out. They were targeting the Broserweights, but didn't work, as eventually the Broserweights would retain the tag titles. I guess we're going to get some type of like a triple threat or something at Takeover at Takeover Tampa. Fine by me. I still think they haven't allowed the NXT universe to completely get to know James Drake and Zach Gibson, though. I mean, I feel like if you watch NXT UK, you both know they're both just really strong old school heels for sure, and Triple H is very high on them. I feel like we're still kind of getting to know them somewhat. I feel like they're not as getting the reactions that they are over in the UK, but give them a little more time. But having them lingering around a tag title picture now is fine. I wouldn't go all the way with them yet, though, in my opinion, because I feel like they're not seasoned out with the regular NXT roster yet. Just my opinion. We're then hyping up for next week's matches. We're gonna be having a qualifying match with Candice LeRae and Mercedes Martinez, which should be awesome. We're also hyping up Finn Balor's appearance on NXT UK this week as well, which I'm going to try to start catching up with very soon, and do my catch-up review for NXT UK. But again, I'm not going to be reviewing NXT UK all the time, even after I catch up. But we have Tommaso Ciampa, though, come out at the end. He's on the mic goading Johnny to just deliver the explanation he promised. Johnny came on the big screen, bringing up Tommaso Ciampa's heel run, how he's the worst person in NXT. Did he miss an apology? Why is he being welcomed back? Which is basically, we all know why. The simple story. Obviously, there's unfinished business, but of course, Johnny's asking this, why? Why is he getting all this praise when he literally just Ciampa put Johnny and all of us through hell, basically, in his entire heel run. I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's obviously, we the guy's a freaking heel, we still respect him as a performer, and obviously we didn't want to see his career ended when us. Obviously, he got that sympathy and came back as a babyface. So I feel like the story was told right there, and of course, in the fact that there's unfinished business with them as well. And why wouldn't Johnny get jealous in a situation like this? But Ciampa's I don't have time for this. I'm gonna go back there and kick your ass. So as Johnny still continues to trash on Ciampa. Ciampa rolls out and heads to the conference room where Johnny is sitting at, and he says they're doing this his way, and then he attacks Johnny, throwing him across these guys brawled all over the Performance Center. In the conference room, Ciampa threw Gargano across the table, and then they start going down the hall. They start throwing random little objects at each other. They even have a crutch involved in there as well. Johnny was able to get some space by spraying something in Ciampa's eyes. He threw Ciampa through a door's window, and it broke, which looked sick, and Ciampa fell into a garbage can. And of course, security's trying to get involved, but then Gargano and Ciampa are one by one taking out security and the officials as well. I'm sure it's going to find them big time, because that's literally the level this storyline's gotten to. They also were throwing them into some machines in the Performance Center. They were throwing actual weights at each other, which I'm sure hurt as well. And Ciampa even threw one as hard as he could at Gargano, missed, and it shatters a wall-length mirror on the wall. When they finally get back to ringside in the bleachers, super kicks, big boots, knees to the head, chair shots were being used as well. And then they get to the announce desk going for a powerbomb. Johnny fought it off, and they head up to that top balcony where Velveteen Dream was. And of course, they're just teasing that fall. And they even took the posts out of place, because they wanted to literally, these two are out to kill each other. Basically, they were beating the crap out of each other on the top of the balcony. And then Gargano, of course, first off put on Ciampa in the Gargano escape, obviously twerking at the surgically repaired neck, and it all seemed like Johnny was getting ready to get the upper hand to throw Ciampa down through that announce table, but then Ciampa just turned the tables really quickly, grabbed him as he would, and hit the air raid crash, just like he hit on Gargano the night he first turned on Gargano. From the top of the balcony, through the announce table, Regal comes out, both guys were down and out. And that's how we went off the air. It was a brutal brawl, but I thought it was freaking awesome. Again, like some people are saying this feud's been a little bit overdone. I kind of disagree. I felt that, they needed this one more match, even though it is a little bit weird with the roles being reversed. But literally, this is, the hype, the level, the heat that has to be between these two going into this big, long-awaited blow-off match between these two that we're going to be getting at TakeOver Tampa. It obviously has to be like some sort of like a Hell in a Cell I Quit NXT match because the story's going. Ciampa and Gargano are too big of stars for both of them to be in NXT at the same time. And we're going to decide who really belongs still in NXT when we get to the match at TakeOver Tampa. Once again, the story was supposed to end last year with Johnny Gargano getting that big victory and the full comeuppance on Tommaso Ciampa. Well, that's kind of a little bit opposite now, so, or as Ciampa would say, who knows? But that's how we went off the air, guys, and that's going to do it for my NXT live review for this week. Gave it an A-. Let's check the live chat, though, and see what we got from Tyler. Let me see here. He thought AEW was better. He doesn't want Survivor Series to be a brand warfare show again, for sure. Is Iron Man coming to WWE? I have no idea. And also, can we bring back the automatic rematch clause on the main roster? I feel like it's somewhat been back already, but who the heck knows, because everything is so inconsistent anymore. Who the heck knows, man? But thank you for yourself in the live chat, Tyler, and that's going to do it for this live review, guys. Again, NXT for me gets an A- this week. Very good show. What are your thoughts on NXT for this week, and also especially that big brawl between Ciampa and Gargano to end the show? Make sure your thoughts down in the comments section. Oop, pop a microphone. Below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter at TheManAir93, and guys, I'll see you next time in my next video. So until then, guys, have a great rest of your day, and peace out, buddy.
No